Hello again, everybody. In this video, we're going to go through 10 macOS Finder tips that I think most any Mac user will find useful. Just about all of these tips are covered in our macOS Core Concepts tutorial, along with much more. Watch to the end of this video for a discount all-access code to view every Mac, iPhone, and iPad tutorial at themacu.com. Finder tip number 1 is Toolbar customization. The toolbar in macOS will exist at the top of most windows in many apps. It is visible in every Finder window. Right or Control-click on an empty area of the toolbar, and we can adjust whether it displays only icons, only text, or both. I prefer the icon-only view. We also have a Customize option that will let us change what is available up in the Finder toolbar. Notice the icons are wiggling. Click and drag, and they can be rearranged. Move an icon off the toolbar to remove it. So if I don't use tags much, I might want to remove that from the toolbar. Below are several other buttons that can be moved into the toolbar. We even have spacers here to separate sets of icons in the toolbar. I'm going to add a spacer as well as Get Info and AirDrop buttons. Click Done, and those are now included in the toolbar. Select a couple of files, and we have one-click access to AirDrop, which is much more speedy than right-clicking on the files, going to Share, and then choosing AirDrop. To readjust the toolbar, we can always jump back into customization to move, add, or remove items. And if you want to reset everything, just drag in the default toolbar from down here. For the next tip, we are able to adjust the size of the icons and text in each Finder view. In this window, we are currently in column view. The other view modes are Icon, List, and Gallery. From the View menu, head down to View Options. We can also use Command J to open this panel. When in column view, we can control the text size of each item. Adjusting this will also affect the size of the icon next to the name of each folder or file. We are able to set this anywhere between 10 and 16-point text. This applies to every item in column view. Now let's switch to icon view. From the View Options panel, we can adjust the icon and text size independently. Icons have a large range from as small as 16 by 16 all the way to 512 by 512, which pretty much fills this window with a single file icon. Below, we have the same text size to choose from, between 10-point and 16-point. For users with large displays, it can be nice to utilize large icons which display a crisp preview of the file. In this example, I have been working within this 2025 Images folder. If I open this Utah folder, notice that the icons are much smaller. We can control the icon and text sizes in this folder independently as well. Or click the Use as Defaults button to apply the selected sizes to every folder opened in icon view. We are actually able to adjust view options for only the selected folder in both List and Gallery view as well. Here in List view, we have two icon size options and the same text size options. Notice the Use as Defaults button at the bottom, which will let us apply these view options to all windows opened in List view. Jump into Gallery view, and there are three icon size options for the thumbnails that appear below the selected file in the gallery. We are not able to adjust the text size in Gallery view, but we can hide or show both the file name below each thumbnail or the entire preview column to the right. For Finder tip number 3, we're going to head back into Icon view of the 2025 Images folder and use Command J to show view options. At the bottom here, we have a background setting. The default is just going to be white or dark gray, which depends on if your Mac is set to light or dark mode in system settings. But we can also apply a specific color or even choose an image to be the background for this folder while in icon view. Click on the color square to bring up the color picker. We can then select a color here or use the dropper tool to select any color on the display. That color can then be adjusted as well. Jump into another folder, and that background color is not applied. Unless, of course, we click the Use as Defaults button in View Options. It can be really useful to distinguish certain folders with a specific background color. We can also use any image as a background. But as you can see, the size of the image can't be adjusted, which can result in some being way too zoomed in and others not covering the full background if the window is made large enough. For tip number 4, we are going to remain in icon view and from View Options switch to Snap to Grid in the Sort By menu. When using this option, I also like to select the None option in Group By. With Snap to Grid selected, we are able to move the icons in this folder to any position in the window while keeping them in a grid pattern. This allows us to gather certain files together in different areas of the window. The positions of the icons are saved, so even if this Finder window is closed, the next time we come back to this folder in icon view, the positions of the icons are retained, as well as the color background. We can also do this with None selected from the Sort menu. This allows the icons to be placed absolutely anywhere in the window without any spacing or alignment. We could even stack them. To quickly untangle a mess like this, go to View and Clean Up to return the icons to a grid layout. Finder tip number 5 is sort of a way to combine Finder views. This Utah folder only contains images, which works great in gallery view. Rather than having to manually switch to gallery view for this folder, we can set it to always open and browse in gallery view. So now if we go back out to the Documents folder, which will open in column view, when we get to that Utah folder, it will initially open in column view as well. But double-click on it, and we jump to gallery view. If we open the 2025 Images folder in icon view, when we double-click the Utah folder, it again opens up in gallery view. Tip number 6 brings us into the advanced pane of Finder settings. In here, we have an option to keep folders in the Finder always displayed at the top. When viewing the Documents folder, which is sorted alphabetically by name, the folders and the files within it are interspersed. Check this box, and now the folders always appear above the files. The folders are listed alphabetically first, and then the files. This applies to every Finder view, unless that view had been previously adjusted, such as the 2025 Images folder in icon view. The background and arrangement remain. In gallery view, the folders are all displayed first to the left. In column view, the folders in each column are always at the top. The next tip is simple, but something I always have activated in the Finder, and that's the path bar. We can activate this from the View menu or with the shortcut Option Command P. Now at the bottom of the Finder window, we can see the full path to the currently selected folder or file, no matter which view we are in. Double-click on a folder within the path to jump back into it. We can even move files into the folders displayed in the path bar. The path bar is most helpful when viewing locations that are nested within many folders, such as the files used for this video. For tip number 8, we will be setting which app opens a specific file type. This waterfall image is a high-efficiency image codec file, which is what the iPhone camera will output by default. Here on the Mac, this file type will be opened in the Preview app when double-clicked on. We can quickly open a file in a different app by right-clicking on it and going to the Open With menu. This will display all the apps installed on this Mac that can open the selected file type. I'll choose Pixelmator Pro, and the image opens up in that app. If I'd like Pixelmator Pro to open any HEI file going forward, we can set that up from the Info panel. So with the file selected, use the shortcut command I. Towards the bottom of this panel, we have an Open With section. I'm going to select Pixelmator Pro here, and then click the Change All button. This will now make Pixelmator Pro the default app for opening this file type. Now, when we double-click on these files, they are opened in Pixelmator Pro rather than Preview. Next, we have Quick Actions. These are commands that can be executed directly from the Finder to quickly edit or adjust a file. This photo needs to be rotated. Rather than opening it in an app, we can take care of that right here in the Finder. Just right-click or Control-click on the file and head down to Quick Actions. Here, we have a Rotate Left option, but this photo needs to rotate right. Press the Option key to switch directions, and we can quickly rotate the image 90 degrees to the right. Another quick action I commonly use is the Convert Image command. A lot of websites or apps won't allow high-efficiency image codec files to be uploaded, so we can use a quick action to convert the file to a JPEG and even adjust its size. I'll set this to medium, which will be plenty big for a website or blog page. Click Convert to JPEG, and we get a new copy of the file as a JPEG. Notice that it's a lot smaller in file size than the original. Our 10th and final macOS Finder tip applies to searching from a Finder window. If I enter the term DSC in the search field while viewing the 2025 Images folder, we get a ton of results because the search was performed on the entire Mac. Up here, we can click to switch to only searching the current folder. From the advanced pane of Finder settings, we can switch this to always search the current folder rather than the entire Mac. Or we can set it to use whatever option was used previously. I prefer to set this to search the current folder. Now, anytime we are viewing a folder, a search from here in the Finder will turn up results only from within that folder. We can then always switch back with a click up here, or use Spotlight to search the entire Mac. Those are 10 useful Finder tips for the Mac. For a much deeper dive into how to use the macOS Finder, desktop, and system settings, take a look at our macOS Core Concepts tutorial that is available on themacu.com. It contains over 60 lessons, all of which can be viewed in our custom video player, which lets you easily replay sections of a lesson, jump to the next or previous lesson, as well as view a full lesson list from within the player. Use the coupon code TMU30X to get 30% off any membership option, all of which come with a free trial. Thanks for watching, and enjoy using your Mac.